Hey, this is Ari, and in this video, I want to share a little clip from a podcast I did with Dr. David Jockers on the benefits of fasting and intermittent fasting.
Yeah, first thing is this mindfulness practice of saying, I'm going to go 12 hours between my last meal of the day and my first meal the next day. So if you finish dinner at 7 p.m., you just don't eat anything with calories until 7 a.m. the next day. Now, in the beginning, if you're used to eating a meal at 10 p.m., you're going to feel hungry in the beginning. And that's because it's a conditioned response. Your brain is conditioned to want to feel, it's not true hunger. It's more of like a craving, more of like almost like an emotional hit that you need. But your body's trained to have this response. If you're eating at a certain period of time every single day, you're normally going to feel hungry at that period of time. But after roughly 3 to 5 days, you can get rid of that signal. And so what I recommend is getting some herbal tea and just sipping on the herbal tea. And so just getting some water into your system will distend your stomach. And there's a hormone called ghrelin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. So when there's nothing in your stomach, you release ghrelin. And ghrelin is also, again, going to be released based on when you condition it to be released. So if you're eating again at the same time every day, you're going to notice that at the same time. So drinking some water will help distend your stomach. Something warm, like a warm herbal tea also will help trigger your vagus nerve, which will help with some peristaltic activity, will help calm your brain, relax your body. So there's a lot of benefits to having a little bit of herbal tea in the evening. And ideally, really prioritize sleep. If you're eating late at night, that itself is going to dramatically affect sleep quality. And that's going to cause more insulin resistance, leptin resistance, and this continual cycle of craving and eating. So that's what I would recommend in the beginning. And then, again, waiting until, 12 hours before your first meal. Now, when you wake up in the morning, all of us are dehydrated when we first wake up. And that's because we've been breathing out water vapor all night long. People think dehydration is like always a chronic state. We fluctuate through periods of hydration and dehydration all throughout the day. All of us do. And so in the morning, we're all dehydrated. We need to replenish that. So I recommend drinking at least 8 to 16 ounces of water before you even think about food. So you just start hydrating your body. And for some people, drinking 8 ounces of water, they feel nauseous, right? They're so not used to doing it that they'll feel nauseous. So you start slowly and you start building it up. Pretty soon, your natural mechanisms and desire for thirst will pick up. You'll actually crave the water and the hydration, and you'll notice that your energy goes up when you hydrate well. Good hydration also helps stimulate vagus nerve activity, particularly, again, warm water in the morning, like warm lemon water, herbal tea, even coffee. If you tolerate coffee well, will help stimulate the vagus nerve, which will stimulate peristaltic activity. And you really want to have good bowel movements in the morning. Your large intestine is most active between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. You want to have at least 1 to 2 really good bowel movements between that period of time, or at least, in the first hour to 2 hours of waking up. And that will make it so much easier to fast, because if you've got, feces sitting in your system that's not moving, it's rotting, it's putrefying, you're releasing all these endotoxins, and those endotoxins themselves will stimulate more cravings. And so they'll cause more damage to your hypothalamus, your hunger center will be affected, and you'll constantly be craving food. So you got to get that stuff out of your system. So hydrating well in the morning will help. A little bit of salt can really help as well. Just taking even just like a little bit on your finger, putting it on your tongue, or you can do like, a quarter teaspoon in your water. And that will help. That will help with energy as well. So that's a great thing to do. And then from there, you only eat 3 meals, right? So you don't snack. Eat 3 meals in whatever eating window, 10-hour eating window, 12-hour eating window, and just allow yourself to go, 3 to 4 hours at least without eating in that window. So that's kind of the first place to start.
Hey, this is Ari. I hope you enjoyed this little clip. And if you want to listen to the full length podcast, the link for that is down in the description below. Also, one more thing before you go, I want to mention, in case you don't already know about it, our formula, Energenesis. This is an amazing product. that has multiple compounds in it that are scientifically proven in numerous studies to increase your energy levels, not just by 3% or 5% or 10%, but by 30 or 40 or 50% in a very, very short time frame. So one of these compounds that I'll mention here is called NT factor phospholipid. And it is an extract of phospholipids that comes from lecithin. And they extract the pure phospholipids from this, things like phosphatidylcholine, phosphatidylethanolamine, and many others. And these are the same fatty acid compounds, phospholipid compounds, that compose our cell membranes and mitochondrial membranes. And this specific patented formula has been shown actually to enter into the bloodstream undigested, basically without being broken down and denatured through the digestive process in the stomach and the intestines. It makes it into the bloodstream and actually makes it all the way to our cells and to our mitochondria, where it helps repair damaged mitochondrial membranes and facilitates our mitochondria functioning better. Now, all of that sounds like wonderful theory, and it sounds like it could be beneficial, but the real test is, has it actually been studied and been proven to increase your energy levels? And the answer is yes, absolutely. There are numerous studies outlined in a wonderful paper by a scientist named Garth Nicholson, in a paper called Lipid Replacement Therapy. I highly recommend checking this out if you're interested in digging into the research. But this compound has been studied in the context of multiple different kinds of chronic fatigue. Aging-related chronic fatigue, obesity-related chronic fatigue, obscure things like Gulf War illness, and numerous studies in chronic fatigue syndrome. And there are studies showing that this has the capability. They've taken one study, in fact, actually showed that in elderly adults over the age of 65, it restored their mitochondrial health, which had deteriorated heavily. It restored it to the level of healthy 29-year-olds, believe it or not. And they've actually measured energy levels in these people. And all of these studies across the board show improvements in energy of at least 25% and typically more like 35 to 45% in just the span of between 4 to 12 weeks. That's how long all of these studies are, 4 to 12 weeks. They're showing dramatic, huge improvements in energy levels by helping to repair these mitochondrial membranes through this thing called lipid replacement therapy, using, again, this patented form of a phospholipid extract called NT factor. This is just one of about 20 ingredients proven to benefit mitochondrial health that you'll find in my formula Energenesis. So I strongly encourage you, if you are struggling with your energy levels, if you're dealing with chronic fatigue, go grab yourself a bottle or 3 of this, or subscribe and save. Try it out. You are going to be blown away by the results. We get so many testimonials. We get so many emails from people talking about how this one thing has transformed their lives. So I cannot encourage you strongly enough to give this a shot. And let's say you buy 3 bottles, try out the first one, give it a month. And if you don't notice significant improvements, you can return the unopened bottles to us for a full refund. So give it a shot. I really think you're going to be blown away by the results. The formula is called Energenesis, and you can get it at theenergyblueprint.com or click the link below. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you again very soon.